AKAPADers. Can you hear the excitement? I love this time of year. Every year I do the 31 Days of Dread. It gets easier. It gets easier and more fun because doing one horror movie a day for the entire month, it's a grind. Can we just get through that intro? Because I want to talk to you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out. Peter A. DeLuca here, a.k.a. The Eclectic One, a.k.a. Hot Sauce, a.k.a. your boy, a.k.a. the World Sketchbook Champion, also known as the father of Diamond Dallas Cat. Are you with me? This is the 31 Days of Dread. This is like almost a glorious obsession of mine. And I'm going to 5 years I've been doing horror movies. Like, what a great run. What a great, like, somewhat like by anniversary, by decade. I don't know what you even call it. Call it a nickel. It's a dime. I mean, nickel. It's a nickel. I don't know my coins. But yeah, so what is the 31 Days of Dread? Why is it important? Because, look, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I always said I wanted this podcast. You know, like, it took me years to find the voice. It took me years to get into really what I was doing, to develop what the ideas of this podcast were, okay? The big idea that magnified, that formed in front of my eyes, the big idea was that it was going to be focused on long-form film conversation. Now, this is through me having guest starring collaborators, trying to be more of a producer so two people can get joined together and equally care and be aggressive and develop a podcast into a type of content that the world like cares about, but more importantly, us develop something that we care about. And I went through, go back, scroll down through this feed, okay, and you will see the early days. You can actually go to akapad.com, type in Dream Warriors in the search. You will witness this like learning curve, this pain that I went through just to be more comfortable in sitting down and talking to you. And the more I was resistant on doing it myself, I found ways to practice, to get the reps in, to be consistent, to find angles and nuance of opinion so I can pour my heart and tear apart the marrow of my bones and give it to you, and with confidence say that this podcast, aka Audio Audacity, aka Pad's Audio Audacity, is focused on long form film discussion. It's not about hot takes. We don't do the hot takes here. What we do is we look at a movie, we look at it again, and we think about it, and we consider things like intent. We consider things like the time, the age, the era that it was made in. We consider almost everything that's ignored today. Like, where are these top film critics if they're not on YouTube? What YouTuber is discussing a movie, right? Not summarizing it, but discussing a movie for more than 6-7 minutes. Okay? Who, maybe there's one other, like, you know, there's some YouTubers that do month-long themes about movies, and they do have some insight, and they, you know, but a lot of it, so much of it, they're either too short or they focus on summary. No one just sits down and wants to talk to you about cool things about movies. They don't. So the 31 Days of Dread, it's 5 years of me studying horror movies, of me knowing almost every single trope, feels like I know every single director, I know every single production house, I know all the eras. You know, like, outside of doing the early black and white silent stuff, which I really should do. But I've done bucket movies. I've done odd sequels within the series, like made for TV, like Omen movies and Species, like 4. I think I did Omen 4 and Species 4, like within the same year. I've done very low budget, out of your pocket, credit card debt horror movies. I've done some foreign ones. Foreign is a little bit of a black hole. Every year I'll write down a list of foreign movies. I just don't get to it. I really don't. And I say, well, we're going to pick some of this up as the year goes on. Unfortunately, in 2021, I was dealing with a year-long theme that it felt like with Netflix. And, oh my God, it kind of sucks. Because my Netflix little obsession slowed me down. Even though, I did have other work, like this other elements of a workload to deal with. Deadlines and such. I missed like all these COVID releases. I had a month of Godzilla planned. I had a month of Mortal Kombat mapped out. And a lot of this stuff too. Keep in mind, my mindset is, I can just, I can catch up and do a dump. That never happens. It just doesn't anymore. It used to. I would like for me to be able to hit that gear again. Maybe we'll find out if I do fall behind during the 31 Days of Dread, but I seriously doubt it. Because let's just get into it, okay? Because what we have here, what I'm about to discuss with you, like, I don't think I even did this last year, right? I got every single movie mapped out, all of it. And I'm just going to run through what the themes are and why. Okay, I'll touch on this within every episode. But we're going to start. We're going to start with James Wan. James Wan is who I consider. He's the guy behind Saw and The Conjuring. But James Wan created $2 billion horror franchises. The only other person to do this is Wes Craven. I'm not sure if Scream hit $1 billion, but, he did Scream, he did Nightmare on Elm Street. Both of those series, I say series, will be featured this year. So we are doing, I guess, like 2 horror franchise juggernauts. Maybe 2 of the biggest, because I don't know who else even comes close. James Wan, we're doing Malignant, Day 1. That's today. I'm dropping that today because I'm talking to you on October 1st. Then it's Conjuring 1, 2, 3. Conjuring 2 inspired me so much I had to put in The Nun. Then if I was going to put in The Nun's like the demon in the second Conjuring. And holy shit, I'll just say that. I had to put in Annabelle for Day 6. And then, why are we not fascinated with Chris Rock being in a Saw movie? Day 7, Spiral. Now we have 2 bucket list movies, original and remake. Wicker Man and Wicker Man 06 starring Nicolas Cage. I am crazy excited to talk to you about Day 9, the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man, because if you haven't guessed, if the internet hates and makes fun of something, guess what, kids? It's not that bad. Okay? Then we have 2 more bucket list movies. So we're in the block of bucket list movies. Frailty, Bill Paxton, Matthew McConaughey. Bill Paxton directed that. The Fog. So I tried watching The Fog one time with my mother, and it flipped me the fuck out. I haven't tried watching the movie since I was a kid. We're going to go through it. Then we have sequels. Day 12, Day 13. The Purge, Forever Purge. The Quiet Place 2. Okay, Marcus Nispel. He is a master at just shooting. Okay, if you don't know him, look him up. Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, and I'm pretty sure he did the Friday the 13th remake. Conan the Barbarian remake. This dude did a Frankenstein movie that was like presented to you by Martin Scorsese, and it has an all-star cast. I never heard of this movie. It came up on my Amazon Prime. I said, what the fuck is this? I checked it out. Now I'm going to talk to you about it. Speaking of Scream, we got Scream 1, 2, and 3. That brings us into day 18. We have What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if I discussed this before. I just recently rewatched it for potentially a third time. Another bucket list movie. Eddie Murphy, Disney, The Haunted Mansion. I don't know. I was just so, I was in a good rhythm of doing bucket list movies. I had to put this one in there. And then we have who I consider to be the modern day, I guess up to the 90s, the early 2000s. Clive Barker, the freaking asshole genius. I'm so jealous of him. The genius that he is. Hellraiser 1 and 2. Barker over King any day of the week. And then we have What the Hell? What the hell? We have a perfect definition of emo. We have a amazing folding of the idea of emo music into horror. We have Jennifer's Body. And you out there, you listening, you son of a bitch, you listen to everyone out there that trashed this movie. This movie is incredible. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to talk about it. And then here we go. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Revenge, Dream Warriors, Dream Master, Dream Child, Freddy's Dead, Final Nightmare. We will be doing all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. No Nightmare Before Christmas. Didn't make it this year. Again. Then we're... Here we go. You guys knew this was coming. We're back on Netflix. Brand new cherry flavor. Fear Street. Midnight Mass. To close it out. Now, along the way, there's going to be horror movie drops on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Paramount Plus, HBO Max. Venom is in theaters right the fuck now. Okay? We'll be dropping those too. So be ready. We're doing a lot of drops. By the time we get out of this, we're going to be past episode 400, by the way. So all of you, all of my AKAPADers, love something, create something, go out there, do something from, if you have a phone, you have an audio and visual studio in your pocket. You have a blank piece of paper, you can create. Go out there and create. Let's do this. Happy Halloween, happy October. Right here, right now, we're going to roll this into day 1 of the 31 Days of Dread, Malignant, directed by the genius James Wan.